Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a look here at SUI, see what's going on. We're going to jump into kind of like a larger time frames and recognize the overall trend here. We still haven't broken our descending trend line, so just keep in mind, not out of the woods completely just yet, but there are some early signs, early indications that we're more likely to continue further up. And I'll explain more about that here in just a moment. So if you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. I've got a Trading Academy community and signals group, link down below for that. I got a lot of new traders coming over there. We had a really profitable week last week, but honestly, not a lot of trade opportunities right now at this point, or more so over the weekend. We've got a couple of longs in play right now, of course, they're both in the green, but it really depends on the kind of trades you're taking. You want to be very careful and selective. And this coin is one of those ones I'm always cautious taking a trade on. More so to the downside. I rarely short this coin. I have a pretty low success rate, honestly, shorting this coin, just based on how crazy this coin can move, right? So you're better off always waiting for long opportunities in this coin. And if we look at long opportunities, if we take a look at liquidation, 293 to 350, it's a pretty solid amount of liquidation above the price. I think there's more incentive for the price to continue higher, especially with the long liquidation delta being close to break even, but also more so on the green side here. In other words, we have slightly more longs than shorts in the market. But don't get it twisted. We're still in a descending trend until we break that trend line. It's important to recognize that it's still very high risk to take a long into that, right? So just keep that in mind, but open interest here, looking at this heavy concentration at 293, that's a local high, and 283. So once more, I mentioned 280 to 290 in the past is that resistance range. Closing above 290 would be a solid consideration for a long, mainly because we'd be closing above the local high range here of 280, which we're tentatively above that for now. But we'd also be above the descending trend line here too. Again, those are two things you want to try to make sure to have on the charts before you take a trade, at least with confidence. All right, it's hard to take a trade with confidence right now when we still are establishing a downtrend. All right, so take a look here. Daily time frame, we're under 50 on the RSI. Other coins that we have long positions open with have broken above 50. They're also above their local descending trend line and their local highs, which we still have yet to see this for SUI. All that being said, we're right there at the 20-day SMA. We have a lot of confluence above the price of 335. That's where we have both the 200 and the 50-day SMA. So keep in mind this 0.382 fib level, roughly 330, is that resistance range for us. We come up to that level at some point, we're going to see some slowing pressure. If you do take a look at liquidation though, there is a little pocket of liquidation at 330. So I wouldn't be surprised we see a liquidation hunt at that point if we get close to that. Once more, it does require for us to break this descending trend first, which we still have yet to do. So in a perfect world, what we're going to be looking for is a closure above 290, consolidating in that range, and then potentially considering a long at that level, pending Bitcoin isn't on its way down. Right? Bitcoin continues to hold its $107,000 range. We're probably going to see this continue to happen, or we're going to proceed to see higher highs and higher lows established. For right now, still too premature in my personal opinion to take a long with confidence. And I just like to take longs or shorts with more confirming factors. Right now, we got a lot of conflicting factors. One time frame is pointing down, another one's pointing up. To me, though, breaking trend lines is the most important thing, and closing above this level is what we're looking for. Consolidation 280 to 290, and then we consider a leg up from there. All right, that's kind of what we're looking at. I'll go ahead and post our play out chart available on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It looks a little something like this. And if you want to, again, become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site link down below. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Don't forget to join over here with Bitunix too, folks. They got an awesome promo going on this month. Check them out. They're a really good exchange. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.